Hey, Joe from Passion Unchained here to help you build a life you love. And at this point, I'm putting out a lot of content specifically about building a love life that you love. I'm gonna go over an embarrassing story today, a story that will explain a really important concept that will help you stop getting in your own way when it comes to dating and see that you have a lot more options than you think you do. 1 second, I'm going to put the camera a little bit up. So, without further ado, I believe, 20 years old. This was, fuck with this light, give me a second. This was about 9 years ago, and I had just gotten used to talking to girls. Actually, that's not true. I was just learning to talk to girls, but I was very bold one day, and I decided to talk to a girl at the Target near where I lived in Florida. She was extremely cute, and I'd gone through her line earlier that day to buy a few things, and I wanted to go back because she had made me feel a certain way. She was extremely cute, and that's one thing that I find is that there's certain types of girls that just make me feel butterflies in my stomach, even to this day. So I knew I had to ask her out. And I had not kissed a girl yet at all. I was a little bit of a late bloomer for that. I made up for that. Made up for the lost time, of course. But I asked her out. I went back. Found an excuse or a couple things I wanted. Hunger Games movie was coming out, and I needed a shirt. So I went and got a shirt, got the Hunger Games book so that I could catch up before the movie came out. And I went through her line, and I was like, hey, I couldn't help but say you're super cute, and I really wanted to, go on a date with you. When is your break? She said, I'm on a break at 3. And I'm like, cool, I'll come by at 3, and we'll grab a coffee in the break room. And she's like, or not the break room, there's like a Starbucks that was part of the Target. And she was like, oh, that sounds great. So I was like, nice. And so I came back, we went and sat down, got to know each other a little bit, and I was like, cool, like, what's your number? We exchanged numbers, and I ended up meeting her again the next week for the same thing. We texted back and forth. I was like, hey, let's meet up again, and she was like, yeah, that sounds good. And we met up. Turns out she was into cosplay. I thought that was super cool. She liked to go to a lot of cosplay places, a lot of conventions, and at the time I like to go to a lot of conventions too. I still like them, I just don't go to too many anymore. And it was just so cool. It was really neat, and I was like, I have to invite her over. And at the time, I wasn't even thinking about sex. I wanted it, of course, but I didn't feel like I deserved it. So I was only thinking about, like, I just like the feeling of being around her. My stomach, I feel like this butterflies. She's like super damn cute. She's like really fucking cute. And I don't know. I want her to like me. I want to see her more, and I want her to like me. So that was all that was going on in my mind. And I invited her over, and I had this idea. I was like, well, let's do a couple of fun things. We'll go swim in the pool, and then we'll come back to my place and watch a movie. And so I invited her over. She came over, but I didn't tell her what we were going to do, so she didn't bring a bathing suit because for some reason I didn't think to tell her. And she's like, oh, well, we have to go back to my place to get the bathing suit. And I'm like, okay. So I didn't have a car at the time, and so we went back to her place in her car. She had this adorable fucking dog. I pet the dog. It was fucking amazing and adorable. And she was like, yeah, like I go to a lot of conventions. Like, maybe you could come with us sometime. I think that would be cool. I'm like, yeah. In my mind, I'm like, what the fuck? This really hot girl likes me, and she wants to, like, hang out with me more, and she sees me as, like, a longer-term thing because, like, she's talking about inviting me in November. I'm like, that's fucking great. I go back to my place. We swim. Turns out she's a really good swimmer. I'm kind of not, but I don't really care because, it's not something I'm really insecure about. And then we go back to my place, and oh my goodness, this is where it gets. This is where I get in my own way, which is the whole point of this. Is that often you will get in your own way with things. Because I really liked this girl. Like, I felt butterflies around her. She was super cute, and we were connecting, and it felt amazing. And She's like, hey, do you have a dryer? I need to dry, my bathing suit's wet. And I'm like, yeah. So I get her a towel. She takes off her bathing suit, and I be polite. I look away, and she puts her bathing suit in the dryer, and she turns it on, and she sits next to me. And we're on the couch, and she's next to me, and she has my bathing suit on and nothing else, and we're alone in my apartment. And of course, we watch a movie. Yeah, you heard that right. We watch a movie. That's all we do. And part of it was because I just didn't realize that sex was an option. It's like I wanted sex. In my mind, like sex was like something that I really wanted, but I just never thought of myself as somebody who deserved it. I never thought of myself, because I was fat at the time. I was really overweight. I wasn't caring about my appearance. I had shit finances. I was still living off my parents. My parents were funding everything. I didn't have a job. I wasn't even thinking about my future in any way, shape, or form. And I was just a fat, lonely, like weirdo. And I didn't think I deserved to have sex. I didn't think that was an option for me. I thought that cool guys had sex, and really, really like just buff. Like, I mean, I am buff now, but like you, like a certain type of guy was the only kind of guy that had sex. But here was this girl in my apartment, naked, alone with me, that I was like super attracted to, and I just didn't occur to me that she wanted to have sex with me, because I didn't think well enough of myself. So the moral of the story here is, a lot of the time in our sex and dating life, it's not the situation or the fact that maybe you think you're overweight, which you might be, in which case fix that. But maybe you're overweight. Maybe there maybe like you're into the wrong hobbies, which doesn't make sense, because be into the hobbies you're into. In fact, the more unique, the better, because that will be like, I fucking knit, and literally the first time I kissed a girl was because I was knitting. I'm not even joking. She thought it was so cool that I was knitting in public, and we met. That's how we met. That's how I got her attention. It wasn't on purpose. So like, yeah, if I guarantee you, no pickup artist is going to say, hey, you want to get girls, go knit. Like, what the fuck? No. So this kind of proves the point. I was the one that got in my own way. And that's why I started to offer coaching, because after that point, I improved myself to the point where I've been with a multitude of girls. I don't like saying a number, because I feel like that's objectifying women. And I'm going to do a video about this. I like to prioritize sex, but not objectify women. And there's a very big difference. I prioritize sex in my relationships with women, but I don't objectify them. Huge difference. I'll talk about that. So I don't really like saying the number. Sometimes I do, because I want you to see this is all from experience. I'm not just making this shit up. But I've fixed my own self, and I've fixed myself so I can go and get sex whenever I want. It still takes a little effort, of course. It's never going to take zero effort, but it gets closer to it for sure. So I'll coach you. I offer coaching. And actually, by the way, I've decided to throw in my photo shoot with coaching. So if you do coaching with me, photo shoot's free, or it's included. No, it's not free. It's included. Either you come to Austin, or you pay for my travel fees to fly out to you, and we'll do a photo shoot. And then, of course, I'll coach you every week for 12 weeks, and I'll be available via email for the day-to-day things. And I'll get you to where you want to go, whether you want to get a ton of girls online on Tinder, or you want to learn to talk to girls in person, talk to any hot girl whenever, wherever, get over your nervousness around that. I can help you with that. So link in the description below. And if you just want to subscribe here on YouTube and get some information and advice and help here, go for it. I'm excited to help you out. Wishing you the best. And until next time, folks.